Hey everybody, welcome back to Andrina's Creation. In this video, I am going to show you how to design and put together this beautiful Hershey purses using Cricut Design Space. You heard that right. Y'all all know I only use Silhouette Studio, but for now on, all of my templates will be having a video on how to assemble, how to do it in Silhouette Studio, and now how to do it in Cricut Design Space. All you have to do is head on over to my website, andrinaskreations.com, purchase the template, come right back over here, and let's do this together. For your supplies, you're going to need 80-pound and up cardstock. I do like 80-pound or 100-pound. I personally do not use 65-pound cardstock to build my party favorites just because I feel like they're flimsy. So if you want to do that, go ahead. But like I said, I do prefer thicker cardstock. My favorite brand of cardstock is Bazzil. Let's see if it focuses right there. And also, if I can't find the color I need in Bazzil, I also use Clearpath and Cardstock Warehouse. Always remember to always check the description box down below because all the supplies will be there in the list of my favorite cardstock. So this is to build your template, or sorry, build the base first. Your second layer is going to be your metallic cardstock, gold, silver, rose gold, or you can even use glitter cardstock. My favorite brand of metallic is Kodamaa. It does come in 12 by 12 and 8 by 11. For the front of your Hershey purse, you can use decorative paper pads that you can find at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, Walmart, wherever you find paper pads. It doesn't matter, even on Amazon, if you do not have a printer. If you do have a printer, you're going to have to do the feature of print and cut. You do need a printer to print, and I'm going to show you the paper that I like to print on. I do have a wide format printer, an Epson EcoTank 16600. I can print up to 13 by 19. This paper is 11 by 17. If you do not have a wide format printer, you can still purchase this pack and then cut it in half to make it 8.5 by 11. This comes in a pack of 50. So if you do have a smaller printer, that means you'll have 100 sheets. I do love the quality of this paper. You can also use glossy paper. I do recommend Pretty Party and Crafty glossy paper. I will also leave it down below. And if you don't have a printer, like I said, use your paper pads or go ahead and cut out the front piece of your template in regular cardstock. And if you have an embossing machine, go ahead and emboss it. If you are going to be doing it, if you are going to be embossing your template, you do need an embossing folder. So today I'm going to be using Two May Lily's Quilted Heart folder. I'm pretty sure you can't see it much, but it's these hearts right here. If you've been following me for a long time, y'all know that this template came out in 2020 or 2021, something like that. And before TJ came out with this folder, we was using a smaller folder that looks like this. So when we was using this one, that meant that we had to double emboss our template. And let me show you. So this is the part that we had to emboss, and we was using this little one. That means that we had to put it here, emboss this part first, align it, and run it through the machine again. That's what we had to do. We no longer have to do this. Now we can put the entire piece in the folder and it fits right there correctly, as you can see, and we run it through the machine. When I do this part, I will show you what machine I'm using, but it's the Sizzix Big Shot Plus. You don't need that one. That one is an electric. Any embossing machine can work. If it's a handheld one, like the one that you crank by hand, a manual one, electric one, it doesn't matter. This folder is 6 inches wide, so any embossing machine that can take a 6-inch embossing folder is perfectly fine. Actually, if you go check out TJ's Magic Touch channel, she has an embossing machine that costs as low as $50, but that one is manual, and I'll leave the link down below as well for that. But when I go ahead and emboss, I will show you the machine. Of course, you're going to need your Cricut software, and you're going to need a Cricut machine. It doesn't matter if it's an Explorer or a Maker. It don't matter. And these are the Cricut mats that I use. I will also leave the link down below of the Cricut mats. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, you're going to need magnets. I prefer closing my purses with magnets. You can use Velcro, but I do enjoy the look of the magnets, and I'll leave the size down below of the one that I'm using as well. If you do want to use Velcro, also go check out tjsmagictouch.com. She has colored Velcro, and you're able to match your cardstock with the Velcro so it looks better, okay? So you can go ahead and use that option. Okay, the good thing about the white one is that you get one side that is clear, and the one side is white, and then the other side of it is clear. So I do like these as you can see. Also, if you have a Michaels near you, check out the packs, the variety packs of the metallic cardstock. They come in a variety of colors, and your template will also fit in the 8x11 as well if you want to go this route. Now, these are thinner than the kodamaa that I use. These are 65-pound. But remember, it is okay to use 65-pound for your layers, but it's not okay to use 65-pound to build your template. If you're going to put a charm hanging from your purses, you're going to need something called a ball chain, and it just attaches right here, and you hang your charm to your purses. You're going to need a chain for your purse. Whatever chain you get, you must get something that is 5 mm. If you get something smaller, it's going to fall out of your purse. So I made the holes to be 5 mm. So I do been using this one for a very long time. And you can also use your pearl chain. But remember, it has to be 5 mm. Whatever you get, 5 mm. I can't stress that enough. And you're going to need your embellishment to go in the front of your purse. You can cut something out of cardstock, but I just added a rhinestone button just like this. And there's so many on Amazon, but I'm going to leave specifically the gold and silver for the chain, and then the gold and silver that I use as well. They also do sell rose gold and stuff like that, so just do whatever you want. If I miss any other supplies, I will tell you throughout the video. For the purposes of this video, I'm only going to be printing out one purse. If I was printing out multiple, I will for sure not cut this paper out. But because, like I said, I am just going to print out one, I am going to go ahead and cut this paper down to an 8.5 by 11. So all I'm going to go here is go to the 8.5 mark. And now I have two 8.5 by 11. First thing you need to do is head on over to my website, andrinaskreations.com, but I'm also going to be leaving the link down below specifically for this template, so always check in the description box. So this is the Andrina's Creations layered Hershey purse. Keep in mind I have several Hershey purses here on the website. This is specifically for this one. Now, before you make any purchase anywhere, make sure that you read the entire description. This template comes with one SVG with 2 layers and 1 silhouette file, meaning that it is compatible with Cricut Design Space and Silhouette Studio. This template is not compatible with Canva. After you read everything and everything is okay with you, and also keep in mind that always the tutorials of any template that you purchase from me, the links will always be in the description. And right here for this template as well, I have the link for the Amazon list of all the supplies you're going to need. Then after you go ahead and add to the cart, make sure that you also read this right here. And if you understand, you click here and it will go directly to your cart. Then after you purchase, before purchasing, make sure, let me rewind that. You cannot make a purchase on my website unless you have an account. You must log in to your account. Then you're going to go ahead and put this in your cart. And all you need to do is have a name and an email. Okay, and then after you do that, make sure that your email is spelled correctly. These are instant files, meaning that there are digital files. As soon as you make a payment, they're going to go directly to the email you provided. If you made any mistakes, just feel free to go ahead and click the chat button and I will go ahead and help you out. But remember, this doesn't take a whole bunch of minutes. It will be instantly in your email. And remember to always check your junk or spam folder. Once you make the purchase, you're going to receive a link that shows up just like this in your email. And all you have to do is click on download now. I have a Windows. This might look different on a Mac computer. I do not own a Mac, so I don't know how it's going to look on your end. I am using a Windows. So right here, it's going to show that I just downloaded something. This is on my download history. Instead of clicking open file, I'm going to click right here. See, I'm not clicking nothing yet. I'm just putting my mouse over this that I just downloaded, and I'm going to click here on this folder. Another thing that you have to keep in mind, you do not have to keep downloading this file every time you want to make this template. You only need to download it once. You're going to save it to your computer or your external hard drive, and then you just keep opening it from your hard drive. Okay, you don't need to, every time you're going to make a purchase, you need to come here and download it. You do not need to do that. So let me show you how to save this. You're going to click right here on this folder. I do know for your Mac, you have to double click to extract it. And what I mean by that is when you see the folder, it has like a zipper. That means this is a zipped folder, meaning that you need to open, like unzip it to see everything that this folder contains. So again, you're going to click on this folder here, and then this is going to show up right here. I am not clicking nothing yet. You see how it's right here? I have my mouse over it. It's going to say extract all. So now I'm going to click on extract all, and I'm not going to click here on extract, because if I click on extract, I'm not going to be sure what folder this is going to go ahead and open in. So I'm going to click here on browse, and I am going to click on my external hard drive. If you don't have one, just go ahead and save it to your computer, but make sure that you create a folder. This could be named the Andrina's Creations Hershey Purse, or you can name the folder however you want. And how would you create a folder is, while you are inside of wherever you want to save it, you're going to go ahead and right click. I'm going to click new. I'm going to click folder, and I'm going to go ahead and name this Andrina's Creations Templates. You can also name it Andrina's Creations Hershey Purse, whatever you want. Just make sure that you have it in the folder, that you know where to find it when you're about to open this file, either in Silhouette Studio or Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to double tap on that folder. And as you can see, it's in my hard drive. This is the folder's name. And now I'm going to click select folder. And now I'm going to click on extract. Now the folder has extracted, meaning that everything that this folder had inside, now you can see it how exactly it is. So it came with a PDF of the terms and views of license of my templates. It came with the SVG, and it came with a silhouette file. Now, right here, you might say, I don't see how this is a SVG, but on my end, because this is the program that I have, if you have like Adobe, this symbol will be different. But just know, if you hover over this one right here, you can see it says Andrina's Creations Hershey Purse with layers SVG. You can see it right there. If you hover over this one, you can actually see right here that it does say Silhouette Studio. This one on my end is going to say Microsoft Edge, but that is the silhouette. That is the SVG file. If you hover over it, like I said, you will see the entire name of it. Now, the mistake that I always see people doing is, okay, I have a Cricut. Let me go ahead and open this. So the first mistake that people do is they're going to go ahead and double click on the SVG. And then they'll see this, and I'm like, this does not mean that if you double click on a file, it's going to automatically open in Cricut Design Space. Your template might look like it was empty. If you double click, you might see a blank file. You see, as you can see here, you're actually missing pieces of the template, and you might think that the template is wrong, but that's not it. This is not how you open the SVG to come into Cricut, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and exit that out. Remember, I already have everything saved. Now I'm going to go ahead inside of Cricut Design Space, okay? So this is the software. I'm going to go ahead right here and click on upload. I'm going to click on upload image. I'm going to click on browse and go ahead and locate that folder that we just created. Right here it says AK template. I'm going to double click on that. And as you can see, this is the only visible file for me to bring into Cricut, because this is the SVG. You will not be able to see the silhouette file, because you will not be able to open a silhouette file in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this file. I'm going to click on open. And then yeah, I might say, okay, this image is large, but don't worry about that. You're going to go ahead and click on continue. Upload. It might take a little bit, but here is your template. If you can't see everything, you have the zoom in and the zoom out button under here. So I'm just going to click on the minus sign so I can zoom out. Let me go ahead and put this template in the middle. Now, all my templates work exactly the same, okay? All you have to do is click on this template, right click, and ungroup it, okay? Because right here it says change the template size while grouped to this measurement, meaning you only need to select the template, not this, okay? So move this to the side, all right? You're gonna click somewhere here on your screen. You're gonna drag your mouse and only select the template. You're gonna come up here where it says size, and on your width, you're gonna go ahead and type these measurements right here. And enter. Then look at your height and make sure it is the same. and it is, and then I'm going to click somewhere here on my screen. I'm going to select those measurements and I'm going to click delete on my keyboard. Now my template is sized exactly the measurements that I gave you. Each piece is going to be the correct size that you're going to need, because this is how I started doing my templates. If you have purchased this template before 2022, I think it is 2022, all my templates was provided with a PDF document that you had to size each piece individually. Since then, I have upgraded all my templates that all you had to do is select the entire template and enter those measurements that I gave you. So it's no more hassle of you inputting each piece of the measurements. Okay, because that was gonna take you a little bit longer. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and click on the template, right click, and ungroup this template because everything is together. So now each piece is by itself, as you can see. The first step that you need to do is you need to attach these score marks. And let me go ahead and zoom in. All of my templates come already with the score marks. I do understand you can use a scoring tool with Cricut Design Space, but I do not offer those score marks, meaning that you're gonna have to change that on your own. So if you want to change those score marks, you're gonna have to go ahead and click on it, and you're gonna have to make a straight line yourself. My score marks are individual cut lines, meaning that you're going to leave your regular blade on your machine, and what it's going to do is going to cut, skip, cut, skip, cut, and skip. That's how I provide my score marks, okay? Even though it might look like it's already attached to the template, it's not. So you do have to make an extra step, and I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm gonna go ahead and make it, but let me go ahead up here and change this to the Explorer family, because I'm gonna use the Explorer machine. And I'm gonna come here and create, and I'm gonna save. I actually don't want to save. I'm just gonna click on make it, and as you can see, you see all your score marks are in a different mat to cut them out separate. You do not want that. So let's go ahead and click cancel. You're going to go ahead and click on this template right here, the blue one that has the score marks, and you're going to come all the way here to your bottom right, and you're going to click attach. You're going to click on this piece, and you're going to click attach. And going to go ahead and repeat the same steps. Now when I go ahead and make it, you see, they are attached to the template now, all right? Now let me tell you what each piece is. This is your main base, the blue pieces that you're gonna cut out of your solid cardstock. I recommend 80-pound and up, 100-pound if you have it. I don't recommend using 65-pound because it's going to be too flimsy and you want your items to be sturdy. The pink pieces is your first layer, which you're gonna cut out of your glitter cardstock or your metallic. And then your lavender pieces are the pieces that you're going to do a print and cut, or you're going to go ahead and cut that out of your decorative cardstock, or you're going to go ahead and emboss these pieces. This is the pieces that's going to go all the way in the front, okay? So let's go ahead and put these over here. You don't have to touch these pink pieces or the blue ones at all. You're going to have to go ahead and start working with these. If you are going to go ahead and cut them out of regular cardstock, that's it. Just click on make it and go ahead and cut out all your stuff. If it looks better to you in your brain, like, okay, I want to color this because I'm gonna be cutting this out, let's say of red cardstock, so I know, just go ahead and color it red. If you're gonna be cutting this out of your gold cardstock, go ahead and color it gold, so you know what color is that. Let's say you're gonna cut this out of a black cardstock, go ahead and color it black. At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter what color you see here on the screen. It matters the cardstock that you load to your machine, okay? How will you do a print and cut, and how will you put a design into these templates? So I'm going to go ahead and hold this piece right here, and I am going to rotate it, okay? I want this piece to get rotated. I'm going to see this curve. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see if I zoom in and hopefully y'all are able to see it. All right, you're gonna see a curve. I'm holding my shift key and I am rotating this until it's straight, just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same steps with this one. I am holding my shift key and I am rotating. All right. So this is how your pieces should be looking when you put in the image, or your digital pattern, I should say. So I do get all my digital patterns from Creative Fabrica. It is a great website. You can find so many good stuff over there. So this is the website Creative Fabrica. You go in there and just type digital patterns, and as you can see so much stuff in here. You can go ahead and try it out for the first month for just $1, and you can stop it at any time if you want. And it is a monthly payment. You don't have to do the monthly subscription, but I do recommend it because you get to use all this digital patterns, clip arts, SVGs, fonts, and so on. But you can do also pay one by one individually. And like I said, they have so many beautiful patterns in here, as you can see. Like so many cute stuff. And the way that you will download it is you would just click on download, and then the same way that I told you how to download and extract my template will be the same way. Go ahead and make a folder for whatever. Let's say if you do download this one, put cherry digital paper on that folder and put that in there. The reason why I teach you guys to put everything in a specific folder is when you are ready to design something, a specific theme, you're not all over the place looking in your drive looking for exactly what you save and you don't know where it's at. Okay. Now, I do know that people always ask me, where else will you get patterns from for these designer um, backgrounds, right? Now, please read your copyrighted laws. As you guys know, that you're not able to sell nothing that is copyrighted, okay? But I will just go to Google. I use Bing because everybody be like, you always say Google, but you're actually in Microsoft Bing. Right here, I looked up Louis Vuitton background. I click on one. Then Cricut Design Space is different in Silhouette Studio. You do have to save it to bring it into Cricut. So you do have to, let me see something. Before I say that, let me see if you can actually just drag it. So I'm going to go to upload image, and let me go in here and let me see if I can actually drag. Oh, there you go. So you didn't have to do what I was going to say. Let me go ahead and undo back. I thought we couldn't, but let me go say that back. You don't have to actually save it. So right here, like I said, I have this pattern that I want. Remember, I had to click on it first. Then you see Cricut down here. I'm going to go back into Cricut. I'm going to click upload image. So I have this right here. I'm going to go back into Bing. I'm going to click on this and just drag it into Cricut just like that. So I actually didn't save it. And then I'm going to go to continue. I am going to click on apply and continue. I'm going to click here on flat graphic. I don't want multiple layers. I don't want a single layer. I also do not pay for Cricut Access. I just want a flat graphic, and I'm going to click on continue. You can go ahead and name it if you want. Let's go ahead and name it. And upload. Let's zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so now I am going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger, because if you have it smaller, then that's exactly how it's going to go in there. So I'm going to make this bigger so I can see the pattern. All right, I'm going to go ahead and right click and duplicate this so I can have two of them. I am going to go ahead and put, remember, this is the template that I have here. I'm going to go ahead and put this there. I'm going to, remember that selected, I'm going to hold the shift key, and I'm going to also select that paper. That means I have both selected. Okay. Do I have both selected? Let's make sure. Yes, you see the purple layer is selected and your LV background is selected. And I'm going to come down here to my bottom right corner and click on slice. It might look like nothing happened, but I'm going to click on that pattern, click delete on my keyboard, move this to the side, and I no longer need that one either. Because I do need two of these, I'm not going to go ahead and slice it because we already did it. I'm just going to right click and duplicate this. So I have two. And then you're gonna go ahead and repeat the same steps for this right here. The way that I like to match my purses, because I do like my stuff to match. All right, right click and bring to the front. I'm gonna go ahead and color this a different color so you can see what I mean. And before I do anything, let's go ahead and duplicate that because I do need that piece. All right, I need two. So remember, I have this like that. I need two of these backgrounds. I'm gonna right click and duplicate, and I'm going to center them both. I'm gonna go ahead and select this, and I'm going to go ahead and bring them both here, okay? And then I am just gonna go ahead and select that piece. I'm gonna go here on the side so I can know which one I'm selecting. So I'll select like the pink piece. I hold my shift key. I click on the top paper, and I'm going to click on slice. Again, it might look like nothing happened, but I'm gonna click on that first pattern, click delete on my keyboard. This is the piece that we just cut. I no longer need this piece. And then remember, we still have the purple piece behind here. So you can go ahead and locate that purple piece on, so it's right here. Hold, remember, it's still in the same spot, so that means it's going to match. I'm gonna click on that, hold my shift key, click on the background, and click on slice. Click on the pattern. I'm just gonna move it to the side for now. And then I have this piece here. I do need that. And then if you go ahead and align your purse, bring that to the front. Right click and bring to front. If you align it, you will see that it matches. Let me zoom in. You see how the pattern match? Hopefully that makes sense. And you will do that same thing even with the patterns that you get from Creative Fabrica or any other pattern you are getting. All right, so because I matched these two, I'm going to delete that one, right click and duplicate. So we have that piece and that piece. You need to repeat the same thing with this piece right here. So let's go ahead and bring it there, select them both, and slice. Delete that pattern, need that, this is purple as well. When you are working in Cricut, you do have to make sure that everything is the same color that is going to be cutting out in the same match. So because this was pink, I just went ahead and changed it back to lavender because these are going to be the pieces that I'm going to emboss. These are my metallic pieces, and these are the pieces that I'm going to be cutting out of the background, the solid, to build the purse, all right? And basically here you are done. This is all you have to do. Now, if you have been following me for a while, you also do know that I add charms to my purses, and that is very easy. All you have to do is type a name, add an offset, and boom. I know a lot of people always ask me, what is the size that you have to make those charms? And you're going to go ahead and measure. This is your main base of your purse. So you have to measure that you want your charm to come from here to here. Okay, this is how I measure. So how will you do that is go ahead and grab a text box. And I am going to type Andrina. All right. Then I'm going to come up here to the fonts. When I click on fonts, I'm going to go to system because these are my fonts that I own already. And I'm just going to go ahead and select a font that you want. I'm going to click on baseball. While that is selected, I'm going to come up here where it says offset. And I am going to go ahead and play around with that offset. As you can see, that is too big, so I'm going to go down. I don't like huge offsets at all. I'm going to click on apply. And then let's go ahead and change those colors so we can see what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and select them both, right click and group it together so they can stay as one. And then I'm gonna come up here to my template and I'm going to go ahead and measure that. And I think it's fine. It's around 2.57. Now remember, all names are not going to be equal. Even if you're adding an image, it's not going to be equal either. You have to keep that in mind, all right? Now I do two different ways depending on my mood of the day. Sometimes I will create the whole right here on the software, but like I said, I do use Silhouette Studio. But you can also put the hole right here. You just create a little circle and slice that circle right here in your thing. Or you can create like a charm hole up here. And what I mean by that is you will go here to your shapes. Go ahead and click a circle. You will have to make a tiny circle and put it up here. Let me ungroup this, because remember these names are grouped. Let me zoom in. You do have to create another circle, so I'm going to duplicate that. Let me go ahead and color that red. And you have to make a smaller circle. And then this goes in there. You'll select them both. Go ahead and click slice and move that just like that. And then make sure this one is attached to the pink layer. And you're going to click on that circle we created, click on shift, click on the pink one, and then you're going to go here where it says combined, and you're going to click on weld. Wait, no, sorry. I did it on the wrong layer. Undo, undo. Let me move this to the side. All right, so I need these two, combined and weld. And that's how, this is where you're going to put your ball chain to hang. And then this is the name that you have here. I also had to weld this. I forgot, because as you can see, this is not welded together. So I'm going to go ahead here and combined. I don't know if you noticed the difference, but let me go ahead and undo that really quick. And let's go ahead and zoom in on these letters. As you can see, the N, the D, and the R, and right here, I mean, almost technically, you can see it right here. They're not like welded together. What that means is that once you go ahead and cut this out, this is gonna, the D is gonna cut out, and the R is gonna cut out right here and that. So you need to weld these letters together by just clicking on it. And notice what's going to happen. Let me go ahead and zoom in. I'm gonna click on combined and click on weld. And now you see the name goes in here good. If you feel like this font is so thin, the way that you will thicken up the font is by creating a small offset. So you would just go click here, click on offset, and I'm just gonna type it. So right here it says 0, and I'm gonna go 0.5 and enter. And then once you move this one, you'll see that it's a little bit thicker. Okay, so that was 0.005. All right, so you can see the difference. Let's go ahead and change that the same color, and you can see it's just a tad bit thicker. All right, but you had to put it thicker before you created that offset. But at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter, because my offset wasn't even that big. So even this one will fit perfectly there. Let's go ahead and delete that one. Let's go ahead and zoom out. And again, remember, like I said, you do have to color everything the color that you want everything to be. So if you do want the front name to be gold, that's going to go with that matte. So yeah, everything's done. Now your next step is go ahead and make it. No, we should not be doing that, because remember, we're going to be doing two purses. So one of them is going to be browned. Let me go ahead and select all this, right click and duplicate. I am going to do a different purse in red like I had it before. I need to go ahead and duplicate this because the other one's also going to be gold. And I do not need to duplicate this because only one's going to be embossed, one printed, two of the vases and all that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and make it. Everything's going to be, it's an individual mat. As you can see, this was the red, this was the brown, for the gold, and for the layered part right here. And this is, of course, your print and cut. You're going to go ahead, click here and continue. And it's going to say that it wants to go ahead and print on an 11 by 17 paper, and no, it fits on an 8 by 11. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that out. So let me go ahead, click done. 8 by 11, because it was trying to make me print on 11 by 17. No, this fits on an 8 by 11. So we're going to get ahead, click that 8 by 11 paper. Boom. All right. Now go ahead and continue. It's going to say send to the printer. I'm going to click on next. And right here where it says use system dialog, I'm going to go ahead and click that. And it says no printer found. So let's go ahead and click on my printer. I have an Ecotank 16600. So I select it. I am going to use my system dialog because I like to print on premium presentation paper matte. So I'm going to go ahead and I do have the print bleed on as well. That just gives it extra ink on the side. So just in case the machine accidentally cuts it wrong, like a little bit off, it will still be inside of that ink mark. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going to click on print. This is my system dialog, so I need to go ahead and do the same thing. Find my printer, then here click on preferences. I need to print from the paper tray, which is my back tray, letter size 8 by 11, portrait mode, premium presentation paper matte, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna click on OK, then click on print. Also remember before you click on print that your printer has the same settings. So when you put the paper in your printer, it should also say 8 by 11 and the premium presentation paper matte. So here on your computer should match and also on your printer. All right, so let's go ahead and click on print. Then that's going to go ahead and start printing out. Before sending to print, like I said, to make sure that your print looks exactly like they're on the screen, okay? And then if it does, you're going to go ahead and click on done. So I had to make sure I click on the machine. Make sure that you do align your paper correctly to your mat. Go ahead and load your mat to your machine. All right, once you're done cutting, you're gonna go ahead and repeat the same steps for each one. I don't think I mentioned it, but the settings that I'm using is poster board, just because I'm using thicker cardstock. And then you're gonna go ahead and load your machine, cut that one, click go, then do the same steps for all of them. And then when you're done cutting all of them, let's go ahead and start assembling these purses. Okay, so this is what I mean about my score marks. They're going to cut, then skip, cut, skip, cut, skip. So the blade actually does the score marks for you. Okay, as you can see. All right, so what you're gonna have to do is go ahead and fold where you see the score marks. You're going to go ahead and grab these two pieces and also fold the score mark. And it's going to look like that. I'm going to go ahead and grab this piece. You're going to fold these two in, and you're going to put a dab of glue here and a dab of glue here. I am using my own brand of glue, but you can use any adhesive of your choice. I also recommend Art Glitter Glue, which I'll leave the link down below. You're going to go ahead and grab this piece, and you're going to go ahead and flush it right to the edge and put this down. Make sure that your tab is glued right in the middle of them score marks. You're going to repeat the same steps on this side. You're then going to go ahead and flip over your template, and you're going to go ahead and add a dab of glue right here in the center. Not all the way down, just right here in the center. You're going to go ahead and grab a magnet. With the magnets, you need to make sure that the magnets are close to each other. So that's why I'm putting the magnet here first. And then I'm going to put the magnet on the second layer over here. So they got to be as close as possible, so your purse closes correctly. You're going to go ahead and glue your first layer off from your template, which these was the pink pieces from your template, and you just need to make sure that you center them on each place correctly. I like using a squeegee, so I can just go like this and repeat the same steps. Your main focus on this part here is to make sure that all sides are sealed so that magnet does not come out. So I mean all around the edge, make sure you press down very good. Keep going. And then I also like to lift it up right here, and I do like to press down to make sure that everything is sealed correctly. And keep pressing down. When you added your adhesive, make sure you put your adhesive all around the edge. Keep pressing down. Now, some people I have seen that they don't like how the magnet, that you can see the magnet. I'm not worried about that because my embellishment goes right there. So I am okay with that. Just make sure that everything is sealed all around. So this one's going to be the printed version. And like I said, you could use your decorative cardstock or whatever you want. And I'm just putting glue all around, and you're going to add the pieces where they go. For this part, like I said, you need to make sure that your magnet aligns with this part. And now we're going to add our magnet here because they got to be close to each other. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a magnet. I'm going to go ahead and let it attach there. I'm going to go ahead and close these tabs. I'm going to go ahead and align the tabs where they have to be. Close my purse. I'm going to add a dab of glue. I'm going to go ahead and close the purse. Lift this up. Take the magnet and put it here. Exactly where it was. I'm going to press down. And this is what I meant about being close together. As you can see, the first magnet over here is closer to the bottom, like this cardstock. And then this one is closer to the top, so they're going to be connecting better. All right. I'm going to put it flat like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this part. Don't mind this. My printer messed up. And then I just turned the paper around and then I glued, okay? I turn the paper around and I reprint it because we're not wasting paper, all right? Now you're gonna go ahead and glue your tabs. Now you can use the same glue. I hold it like this when these two are closed, and I prefer to use hot glue. I know I always ask, why do I always switch up the glues? It's because when I work with hot glue, I know it's going to it's gonna dry faster. So I align the tab right here at the edge, and then I align it right here, and I know by that time it's already drying. I turn it around, press down really good, and I'm good. It's already dried. I turn it around, I fold, add hot glue. You can use whatever adhesive of your choice. Make sure that this aligns as well with the score mark, and go ahead and press down. And if you align this correctly, it closes with a magnet, just like that. You can't barely see the magnet. Like I said, I'm perfectly fine. You can see it right here, but that's fine. Now let's go ahead and put your embellishment. I also use hot glue for this part. And then I place it right there and I press down, and that's it. Okay, these chains are highly expensive. The little girls or women or the whoever, they're not wearing this, so you don't have to make this extra long, okay? This costs a lot of money. I cut it at around 8 inches, and it's perfectly fine for the display that I use to take pictures. And I also tell my clients to purchase that display as well, and it looks good at 8 inches. So I'll hold it right there. You can go ahead and grab some wire cutters. I'm just using these pair of scissors, and I cut right there. The trick that I do, because this is a square and the template I made it for a circle, which was intended to be used with the pearls, but because I'm not using those pearls, I'm using this square. All I do is I grab something circle, just like this, a doll or whatever. I am holding the back of my purse not to put pressure, and I'm just going to go slowly in here to make that just a tiny wider. Do not overdo it because you do not want this to fall. The way I put my chains, you don't need no glue, okay? You're just going to put it in there. So I just go in a little bit just like this. I then go ahead and grab my chain. I'm still holding the back of my purse so I do not rip it. And I will maneuver this in there with a, like that. And I just put the first one in, boom, just one. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. Just like that. Close your purse and boom, you are done. That's how it looks. All right, let's go ahead and do the other one that it is embossed. All right, so this is the embossing machine that I have. This is the Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus. I'll leave the link down below. Again, like I said at the beginning, you don't need this one. This one is electric. You can use any embossing machine as long as that embossing folder fits. And this is 6 inches wide. Now this one, I can use the big embossing folders as well. Depending on the machine you have to create a sandwich, which will be this part first. Then you grab your clear plate. You will grab your embossing folder. Put your cardstock inside the embossing folder. Make sure that you place your cardstock on the right direction that the hearts are going, Oh, you don't have to use this embossing folder. You can use whatever embossing folder you want. Then, of course, you close it. You put your other plate on top, and that is the sandwich that I have to create. Your machine should come with a manual. All your machines come with a manual. Just look how you got to create the sandwich. A lot of people also don't know that your embossing machines are also die cutters, so you can get metal dies to cut out cardstock or whatever material. Like I said, mine is electric, and all I had to do is put it in here, and it will go in there. Once it comes out the machine, my cardstock is going to be embossed, meaning it's going to have the texture of the embossing folder that I use. You see, now it has that designed, and when it first went in there, it was plain cardstock, and now we have this. Go ahead and repeat the same steps with all the pieces of your cardstock. All right, for the charms, like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do it. I showed you already on the screen that you can add that little loop there to hang your chain. But sometimes, depending on the word that I'm doing, if there's already a hole in the letter, I won't do that extra part there. And if it's like a small little hole, I will use a crop-a-dial that makes holes on it, and I will just puncture a hole there on the word. Remember, you don't only have to do a word, you can, or a name, like I said, a name, an age. You can also do images if you want. Just make sure you size that image to your template. So when I'm doing this, I do cut out 2 pieces. You can do more if you want, but I just do 2 of the back layer, and I glue that together. Then I go ahead and glue the top part. If this part is too tedious for you, you can use vinyl. You can either use HTV vinyl. HTV means heat transfer vinyl. You will need to use heat, like a small little iron, and just iron it on top, or you can use regular adhesive vinyl. This is just cardstock, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it there. If you don't own a pair of tweezers like these are called reversible tweezers. You don't even have to hold it while it's closed. This is a lifesaver, especially when you're working with small little things. This one's also from TwoMadeLilies.com. I think at the beginning I said TJ's Magic Touch, but it's the same company. This is the craft shop though, Two Made Lilies. But I'll leave the links down below as well. And like I said, I know a lot of people be like, vinyl is way easier, and that is perfectly fine. Also, if you don't use a script font, you're going to go ahead and glue each little letter individually. So I have done that before. It just depends on what font I think goes best with the order. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue there for the dot. And then I'm just using a wax tool, and I'm placing the dot there. And then I just remove all that extra glue from around. You're going to go ahead and grab your ball chain, and you're going to cut as much as you want. Personally, I do not like this to be long. I don't like my stuff to be as long as here. I like mine to stop right here. If it's a little bit longer than that, I am okay, but I prefer it to stop here, all right, on right here on the flap, like a regular keychain. You're going to go ahead and insert your ball chain on the hole. And the way that you close this is you need to insert that other ball right here, and then you pull to lock it, all right? Just like this side. You enter it and then you pull to lock it. So you're going to go ahead and put it around your chain. Then you just go ahead and add your Hershey bar. If you have a Sam's Club, Costco, BJ's, I highly recommend you buying them in bulk. I do know the Hershey, the regular Hershey, the Hershey almonds, the cookies and cream, and the crunch fits in here. Keep in mind, every time I make a template, it's to fit specifically that item. So if you have another chocolate that is thicker or longer than the Hershey bar, of course, it's not going to fit here. All right, you guys made it all the way to the end to this Cricut Design Space how to make a Hershey purse class. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know any other tutorials you would like to see from me. And remember, everything that I showed you from 2maylilies.com, the embossing folder, the tweezers, the Velcro dots, all that. If you use the code Andrina sent me at any time, you will get 10% off the entire website every time you use my code. So remember, Andrina sent me. So go get that embossing folder and all the goodies that you need. Also, comment down below a red heart so I know you guys made it all the way to the end. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, click on notification bell to get notified every time I upload new videos, and stay tuned for more tutorials like this. Bye, y'all.